Good afternoon, Doonside Technology High School.
Good afternoon.
I can't hear you.
Good afternoon.
That's better. My name is Shav. I'm from an organisation called Giving Back Australia. To my right is Brother Omar. Omar, say hello.
How you going, everyone?
Hello.
So we want to start off by saying thank you very much to the teachers for inviting us over here to give a small talk to you guys about the importance of charity. And the way we're going to do that is talking about the organisation called Giving Back Australia and how we started. So Giving Back Australia started in 2015 and it was just a dream. What was the dream? The dream was Australia is a country that offers many opportunities to citizens. Hence, many do not see those who are in desperate need of help just to put food on the table. So this is where Giving Back Australia started. It was a dream back in 2015 where a group of us thought, why can't we make a difference and help people in Australia that are struggling to find their next meal? So we all came together and we said, let's come up with an awesome name. And the name we came up with, Omar?
Giving Back Australia.
Why did we call it Giving Back Australia, Omar?
Because we live in the best country in the world. A country that gives us so much. So the least that we can do is give back to the people in this country.
Absolutely, that's a good answer. So Giving Back Australia started in 2015. It started as a food run project. So Omar's going to flick us over to Food Run Project on the website and you'll be able to see what is Food Run. Food Run started in 2015. It started in humble boxes where we'd deliver food to needy families. Omar, if you can go to About Us, up the top. Yep, and go to Our Services, sorry. Our Services, yep, and go to Food Run. Okay, so Food Run started as a simple hamper where we would deliver just a phone box of food to needy families. We started a Facebook page, and on the Facebook page, we called it Giving Back Australia, and we put a simple note. We put a picture of a box of food. It was 9 o'clock at night, and the title read, "Do you know someone that needs help?" And within 15 minutes, 5 families had contacted Giving Back Australia through Facebook, telling us that they had no food on the table. So that night was a big wake-up call, because now we've gone from a dream to reality. Understanding that yes, in Australia, not a third world country, there is families out there that are struggling. So we took these fine boxes and we delivered them at night to these needy families. And these are people that consisted of homeless people, single mothers living in refuges. We even delivered to a mother that had 3 children and they were sleeping in the back of a car in a park. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, this is when reality kicked in. And we thought, this is more serious than what we thought it was. So rather than just saying, do you know someone that needs help, we decided to do this every single fortnight. That program now has evolved to coming out of a van. So now, strictly through the generosity of the Australian community, we've been able to purchase a van, and Emma's going to take us to the videos. He's going to select one of the Food Run videos. This one up, top right, Emma. Oh, actually, no, you can go down to the Food Run project. There it is. I'm just going to play a video, and then I'm going to ask you some questions after it finishes what you understand about this program. Can everybody see the screen? Hello, Bill. It's Sam from Giving Back Australia. How are you? Salam rahmatullah. Just a courtesy call to let you know I'll be at your home in 15 minutes with your shopping.
Down on my luck for 1.5 years, all Giving Back Australia. They help me and deliver food every fortnightly at their doorstep. Without them, I don't know what I would have done.
This is a food run project that delivers food to needy families regardless of colour, religion, and we're on our way today to deliver a fortnight shopping to a record amount of families. This program is quite a humble program, and the reason why I love it is you see the appreciation on people's faces when you're delivering just some simple food to them. Things like fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, meat, bread, eggs, sanitizer products, amongst many things that you'd expect in a fortnight shopping, in a shopping basket coming from Woolworths.
Well, after struggling so long, I decided to contact Giving Back Australia, and for the past 2 years or so, they've been coming along every fortnight and supplying with fresh fruit and vegetables, meat and groceries.
I didn't realise really how my own neighbour can go on without food while I can have whatever I want. Seeing their faces when we rock up in their driveways, them waiting outside, as soon as we open the back door, the way they appreciate what we're doing for them is amazing. It's very humbling. We can't do this without the support of the community. So please, we need your help so we can help the needy. And Giving Back Australia, I want to thank you all in advance.
Hands up if you enjoyed that video. Awesome, that's an amazing amount of hands. Who can tell me what they learned from that video? Let's see who was paying attention. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Lachlan.
Lachlan, what did you learn from that video?
I learned that there are a lot of people in this region who need people's help.
You learned that there's a lot of people that need help. Hands up if you ever thought that there's families out in Australia that are struggling to eat. Did anybody ever think that there were people out there struggling? I'll give you a fine example. Thank you very much for your answer. As of December last year, this program was going for almost 3 years. We've delivered a fortnight shopping to 8,012 families in 3 years that didn't have food to put on the table. Now I'm going to allow Omar to share with you, come closer Omar, an experience. He's been on the food run when we get to people's houses in the rain. It could be hot, it could be raining, it could be really cold. It doesn't matter. Omar's going to show you guys expressing how desperate these families are and where they're waiting for their next meal for us to rock up. Omar?
You know, we've got everything we want. Or a lot of us have. We can just open up our cupboards and we've got 5 different types of chips and 3 different types of flavoured drinks. But there's some people out there who open their cupboards and have nothing on those shelves, and they have no money to support themselves and go out and buy groceries to feed their families. So when we get to their homes or to wherever they're located and we open up the van, and just the act of generosity of giving to someone who's less fortunate, it means the world to us and it means the world to them. So what I'm trying to say here is, not everyone is as privileged as we are, even in this country. So when someone needs a hand, it is our duty to give them that hand.
Now Omar, some of the people we deliver to, all different nationalities, yeah? And this is what makes us Australian.
Yes, it is. Well, look, the motto of Australia is a multicultural country. So if we don't help everyone as a multicultural, then we're not Australian.
Absolutely, that's a good answer. Let me share an experience with you guys about the food run of some of the families we help and how quick bad luck can hit. So one of our clients that we deliver to has got 3 young children. The oldest is 6 years old. It was coming up to their Christmas and she wanted to go buy some lollies for the kids so when they wake up the next day, they can celebrate the Christmas for whatever religion they believe in. She left the kids with the father. She went to Woolies. She comes back. The father's on the ground. The kids think he's asleep and they're trying to wake Dad up. But Dad wouldn't wake up. Who can tell me what happened to Dad? Dad had a heart attack and passed away. Now they got no money, they got nothing, they got no family in Australia because they migrated here only a short time ago. They've got no support, they've got no friends, and this poor lady has been left with 3 children. Yes, she gets a little bit of money from Centrelink and we appreciate the support the government gives us, but the price of rent for a home is very expensive. So this amount of money was just enough to put a roof over their head, but not enough money to put food on the table. So somebody told her about Giving Back Australia. They contacted us and we've been delivering a fortnight shopping to this family now for almost 2.5 years. Why has it been so long? This lady didn't know she was going to be a widow. Her children are really young. They're living with the trauma of not having a father. She's living with the trauma of not having a husband. They're living with the trauma of what they've seen right in front of them. And then somehow they've got to keep moving forward. And that's just one. We have ladies that are victims of domestic violence, that the police have had to move into houses just to make sure they're safe. They didn't know that was going to happen. Now we deliver a fortnight shopping to them. We even have people that have just had their houses burnt down. And they got nowhere to go. And they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. What are we saying, guys? We're saying, first and foremost, whatever food mum and dad give you at home, appreciate it. Yeah, Omar?
Like I said, we can have everything one day, go to sleep, wake up and have nothing. And a lot of people are going through this situation.
Omar, what's the importance on checking on your neighbours and your friends at school? Because we all think everybody's okay. What recommendation would you give to these children? Look how many friends they've got here. There's so many different nationalities and so many religions. I'm seeing people from Muslim to all different nationalities and countries. What advice can you give them to talk to their mate in private and ask them if they're okay? And even their neighbour, because just because they look okay, it doesn't mean they're okay, right?
No, that's right. I mean, a lot of people that might have something wrong with them on the inside, or something's happening at home or outside of school, and they're too embarrassed to share it with you. And a lot of the time, all your friends want is just company, just to check up on them. Hi, how you going? Everything okay? Do you need anything? Just because someone's got that smile doesn't mean they don't want that support. Doesn't matter where you're from, the colour of your skin, it doesn't matter. We're all the same and we all need to stick together.
Absolutely, thank you very much. Now, Emma's going to pull up a video with a school that gave back to Australia. And I just want to show you guys that from any age group, you can give back. Keep going down, Emma. I think it says Australia gives back. I think it's the next page. Actually, go back, Emma. Go back to page 1 and put those children. Put those young, there it is. Bottom left-hand corner. I want you to watch this video if you can and have a look how kids from a primary school made such a difference to Australia.
It's awesome to be back home. I'm extremely humbled to be standing before you today. You all know my name is Tom Oscar. I'm from an organisation called Giving Back Australia, and our dream is to unite Australians through their generosity, regardless of colour, race or religion. A little while ago, Lima A1 came to us with a dream of coming to the school and through an awesome project will encourage the children to give back to the community. I started as a dream. When we came to the school and spoke to the principal and the teachers, became a reality. But truly, I've never ever thought or imagined the generosity that you children would bring. As a result of what you guys brought to the school, we were able to collect over 3,000 items from the streets. This is the big part. With those 3,000 items, Giving Back Australia in the last 3 years has delivered a fortnight shopping to over 8,000 families. With the result of your 3,000 items, we're going to be able to further that trend for the next 6 months. So well done, Greenacre Public School. I want to thank all the teachers who came on board. Honestly, none of this could have happened without you guys helping your kids encouraging them, and believing in that dream that we had when we came and spoke to you. And I want to present this plaque to the principal, and hopefully we'll be able to do this every year. This is just a small thank you for Giving Back Australia. Just basically saying a big, awesome thank you to you guys. One more, I know she's going to kill me. Can I ask Emma to come up on the stage, please? I know she's going to kill me. And at Giving Back Australia, would you say, please, how many people you credit where she this lady's been patient with us. She helped us from the very start, was ironing out everything to make it happen. So on behalf of the Giving Back Australia team, we just wanted to present you some flowers.
So as you can see from that video, this is a public school that contacted us and wanted to give back. So we went over there, we gave a talk on the stage, and exactly like we're doing with you guys right now, and it created a spark. And these kids, like you guys right now, went to the teacher and said, we want to give back and help Giving Back Australia. So they went, spoke to the teacher, the teacher spoke to the principal, they invited us back, we gave a talk about the food run project. We came back a couple of weeks later, and that school donated over 3,000 items. How'd they do it? Simple. Every kid went to their pantry at home and bought one can or one packet of something. Whether it was a packet of pasta, a can of tuna, a can of fruit salad, a small bag of rice, toilet paper, something really simple that would have cost them probably 80 cents to $1 out of their pantry, but together the school made a difference. So before we move on to the next project, I want you guys to have a really hard think about that. If Doonside Technology High School wants to come on board and help give back with the food run project, we open our arms and invite you to run that project at this school. And it's as simple as going over to your teachers or your principal and saying, we want to be part of the food run project of Giving Back Australia. And then the kids bring an item in, we'll come and pick them up, and we'll go actually deliver them to the needy families for you guys. And then we'll come back and show you a video of how much difference you guys made to Australia. So this is where Giving Back Australia started. From there we evolved. And we thought, what else does Australia need? What else is Australia struggling with? So now we run a program called Circle of Hope. This program is mainly designed for women. So what we do is we offer free counselling, female to female counselling, for any girl all the way up to a grown-up woman that's maybe going through depression or peer pressure or bullying or going through a hard time, and they just need someone to talk to. Often people are too embarrassed to talk to people they know. They might be ashamed, or it might be someone that they know, and they feel better by knowing they can go to somebody that they've never met before and having a bit of a cry or getting some advice or seeing what Help Giving Back Australia can help them with. That program now has been going for a little while, and it's pretty much booked 3 months in advance. The last program we want to talk about is a very important one. Emma, what's that program called?
It's called Get Off Drugs.
Can you talk to us a little bit more about Get Off Drugs, Emma?
Okay, well, we offer a type of solution to the community or whoever needs a hand to get off drugs. As we all know, drugs is not a good thing that we have, and is also a big problem in this country, all around the world in fact. So we offer a program that helps you, is there to support you when you're going through that phase. Also, it helps the families that are involved.
Emma, what's some advice you can give children? You and I were young at one stage, and we know at this age, kids start experimenting with drugs. I just want you to share an experience with them, because sometimes reality is better than talking. So we've got some clients that come into our office, and we can't disclose too much for privacy laws, but they started experimenting at this age, and we've heard it many times, thinking that it's okay to touch drugs, it's only a one-off. Can you explain to these beautiful children from that one-off experiment at roughly this age where you could end up?
Well, there is 3 places at the end of the day. Now it seems like fun. you get some little buzz and everyone's happy. In 5 years' time, your body now relies on that buzz. And when your body doesn't get this buzz, you either end up dead, right? When now your body's craving for something, it's not getting it. Or you give it too much and you still end up dead. Or you end up on the street because you've spent all your money. Or your whole family's left you now because they don't know what to do to help you. And because they love you so much, they're just stuck in a pothole.
That's a really good answer, Emma. A lot of our clients, when we sit down and talk to them about drugs, we always ask them, what age did you start? And a majority of them, their answer is always this age. They say it was a friend, it was at school, they thought it was cool, and they tried it once. From that once, they tried it again and again and again, and before you know it, they think they're addicted to something, and they start taking it every day. As a result of that, you start losing all your friends because you don't think straight anymore. You start stealing from your family because drugs are expensive and you want to find money to pay for it. You start learning, you don't know what's right or wrong anymore. You start getting delusional. You can have some really bad side effects that are irreversible. So we have many clients that come to our office, and Omar can tell you that we have to turn back and say, sorry, we can't help you. And even though they want to get off drugs, but they're so mentally gone that even if they were to get off drugs, they're still going to be mentally damaged. Now just imagine, kids, right now you've got your brain, you've got your sanity, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know left from right, and you know who your family are. A lot of the guys that come into our office have abused that drugs so much that they can't even look at us. They're flinching, and their muscles and their eyes are rolling all over the place, and they've got so much mental damage that even if they were to get off the drugs, it's too late. Or they've picked up a disease from sharing drugs. The reason why I want to raise this is not because I want to scare you, or not because Omar wants to scare you, but we want to teach you guys that even experimenting with drugs can get you into a lot of trouble later on. Because when we get ourselves into trouble, it all starts small, doesn't it, Emma?
You know, Shab, sometimes you won't even get that far. Sometimes you just have to try something one time. After that one time, you're finished. And is it really worth it?
What about the police? So if you get caught, and we were talking to kids the other day, if you get caught with drugs, so someone at the school or the teacher reports you, or the police come to the school, and you get caught with drugs, and it gets put on your record, how can it affect you possibly in your adulthood, Emma?
Well, like we said before, it can affect you in getting a job. Even meeting new people. I mean, if a lot of people these days, they find out you've been in trouble with the police, they want to back right off. And that's something I would do now in this age. If I was introduced to someone that is on the wrong path, I don't want to be near him. I don't want to be around that kind of crowd.
I can tell you now, I went and visited a young boy yesterday in jail. He's a young boy. He's just turned 18, but he's still a child. And he's been thrown in an adult jail. He's scared. He was crying. He didn't know what was going on. Everyone that was in jail was scaring him and threatening him and trying to bully him, because now he's with the big boys. But when I asked him yesterday, we'll call him Mr. X. I said, Mr. X, what happened? He said, my friends told me to try drugs once, and I blinked my eyes and I opened them. That's how fast time went from experimenting. And now I'm in jail and I don't know when I'm going to get out. So what's the message from our Get Off Drugs program? Is we don't want to see you there in the first place. So if someone at school tells you to try drugs, I can stand before you and tell you, don't do it, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up coming to us. That's if you're lucky. And we help you run a program to get off drugs, because your other 2 options, what Omar just said. So you've got Giving Back Australia's Get Off Drug program, or you've got the mental home. Sorry, 4 options. Giving Back Australia, the mental home, jail, or you're going to overdose and die. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to die like that. Life is there to be enjoyed. Why not enjoy it? You guys are at an age right now where if we can leave here today and you guys can learn something, you can make a difference. You can make a difference to yourself and you can make a difference to others, to yourself, by leading by example. As Omar said before, ask your friend in private, not around people because they might be too embarrassed. Are you hungry? Are you okay? Do you need anything? It doesn't make you less tougher or less of a gangster. As a matter of fact, I respect people more that want to help others. And then when you get home, go knock on your neighbour's door. If you're too young, take your mother or father with you, or an adult. And just simply say to your neighbour, are you okay? Do you need anything? What's it going to take? 2 minutes of your time? That person might just be having a bad day. And by you going over there and saying, are you okay, and do you need anything, and a simple smile on your face, that could be that small, but make such a huge difference in someone's life. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the floor for questions. And I want to hear some good questions because you guys look like some amazing kids and we appreciate the respect you guys have given us. Any question you want to ask about anything we spoke about today, Omar or I are happy to answer. If you've got a question, put your hand up and don't be shy. Who wants to ask us something? Yes, sir.
The food that you get for the vans, where does that get donated from?
The food we get to the van, where does that get donated from? We started, originally, we went to a fruit shop and a butcher. And they were happy to give us a little hamper. But now because it's involved in our fortnight shopping, we solely rely on the generosity of people. We don't have money. We don't have no government funding. We don't have anything. 98% of it that we've been able to feed these families comes from people like you guys. Schools that put their hand up and said, we're going to help. We're going to help Australia and we're going to make a difference. And my God, when we've gone to these schools to pick up, I've been lost for words with the generosity that children like you guys have done. We just went to a little school, Akama College, Omar. 100 kids, 150 kids in that school?
Yeah, something like that.
They donated. The school, you can fit all the students of the school in here.
It was almost 6,000, 5,000.
They donated over 5,000 items. And it would have cost them nothing.
Just imagine how many families could be fed with 5,000 items.
We get kids that are waiting for us in front of their house in the rain, jumping up and down because they know Giving Back Australia is about to come and deliver some food to them. Like you and I, food is food. But for the ones that don't have it, it's a treat. So my answer to you, my brother, is all our food is all donated. If people like you guys stop being kind, the food run stops. Thank you very much. Who's got another question for us? Don't be shy. Any question? Anyone? Yes, sir.
How many schools help you with Giving Back Australia?
How can schools help us, Omar?
How can or how many?
How many and how can?
Okay, how many? I think so far, as long as I've been involved in Giving Back Australia, we've done about 3 schools.
Yeah, 4 schools.
And the way they donate is like what Shav said. They just contact us. We come, we give a big talk on your assembly. Okay, we tell you guys what you got to do and what you can and can't bring, because we don't want you guys to bring like a hot dog, because hot dog will expire. You know what I mean? So if we were to get, for example, tunas or corns or peas, something that you can put on your shelf that lasts a long time, that's the stuff that we like to have donated.
And what we do is we come over to the school, we give a talk at the assembly and tell you guys what the plan is. You guys go home, you bring that item, you put it in plastic containers in your classrooms, then we come back a couple of weeks later with our van and you guys actually load the van that you see in the video. We then take that to our warehouse, we categorize it, check which one expires first, which one we got to give away first, because we want to reduce waste. We want to make sure all the food that you guys donate goes to a needy family and doesn't go to waste. Then we actually deliver it to the families that are waiting for their next meal. So if you guys want to be involved, that's none of our business. You need to see your teachers, and if they want to come on board, welcome. If they don't, you guys just giving us this platform to come today is more than enough for us. Yes, sir.
What type of drugs were the people that met you have been victims of?
What type of jobs?
What type of drugs?
What type of drugs? What type of drugs have people been on that have come to the Get Off Drugs program, Anna?
It starts from weed, marijuana,
Prescription pills,
prescription pills, ice, cocaine, heroin,
alcohol.
alcohol, all the above, okay? And just like those people came to our program, I just want to raise this
Yeah.
point just for a second. A lot of people think that something as small as weed, I mean, it's not a big deal. You know, we can have a joint every now and again. But from that joint that you had every now and again, we've got people that have been smoking for 6 years and don't know how to stop.
And don't know right from wrong anymore.
No.
They've fried their brains.
I mean, if they were to ask you a question, it'll take them 5 minutes
To acknowledge and answer back.
very,
If we were to bring one of them here, and we don't do that because we've got to respect privacy, you would be scared. You would go home and you would go, oh my God, I never thought in my wildest dreams that drugs or alcohol can affect the human being in this way. And what's sad is these guys are stuck like this for life. Even if they give it up, because they've abused it, and they've used it for so long, it's affected their body in one way or another that's irreversible. Next question. Yes, sir. You're next.
How many people do you donate to every fortnight?
How many people do we deliver our fortnight shopping to? On average, last weekend, let's just talk about the last couple of fortnights. 3 fortnights ago, we done 18 families, I think it was roughly. Last fortnight, we done 13 families. This fortnight, I was telling Omar that we're in a bit of a panic mode because we've had 21 families apply for a fortnight shopping. So you imagine mum and dad, if you've been with them to Woolies or wherever you go shopping, when they fill up 1 or 2 trolleys for you guys to survive for a week or 2, imagine we got to supply that to 21 families this Saturday because they're struggling and they're ringing us saying, please help, our kids are about to run out of food. So the answer to your question is if you want to average it, we average about 1 family per day, 365 days a year. You had a question.
Yeah, earlier you said you had female to female counselling. What counselling do you have to benefit males, or do you know?
Yep, so Omer is a mentor. That's a really good question. Omer is a mentor, and what we find is with counselling, there's 2 ways to counsel people. We have got a male counsellor who works with males as well, and we've got a mentor. So the man to my right is a humble man, he won't tell you, but Omer's an actual mentor. What a mentor is, it's a fancy word for a friend. A lot of people are going through a hard time and they just need a friend. Someone to just talk to, maybe someone to have a cry to. Maybe mum's not understanding you, or you feel dad's not understanding you, or someone at school is bullying you, or you're having a hard time at home, or someone's trying to pressure you to take something that you don't want to take. That's when you can come, have a good old chat to our mentor who can guide you through his experience. Because we can't disclose it today, we don't have much time. But yes, Omar has had a past with drugs, and that's why he's become a mentor. So through his experience, he teaches people how not to go. So I hope that answers your question. Yes, sir.
Yes. Are we gonna have like a time when we can donate to?
That's entirely up to your school
Yes.
and not in my hands.
I am thinking about. I do have some stuff that I could donate. Like,
That's amazing. Give him a clap, guys. That just shows that there's already someone here that understands the message we're trying to give. I want a question from this side. I know this is where the cool kids are and they don't ask questions. Come on, guys. Someone throw me a question from this side to show me that you guys were listening today. Anyone? Yes, sir.
How many companies do you have over Australia?
How many companies? Giving Back Australia started in Sydney, in Bankstown. Who knows where Bankstown is?
Nope.
Some of you don't know where it is. Okay. So Bankstown is the southwest of Sydney. It started there. It's 1 van, 1 team that's delivered the over 8,000 fortnight shopping. It actually started out of the boot of the car of the founder and his wife. So they actually started the dream in a corridor in their home where they started those 5 frame boxes, and it started out of the boot of their car. From the boot of their car, it went to an old broken down van that they made work for a couple of years. And then from that, we've gone to that van that you just seen. So the answer to your question is there's only one. but there's just a whole heap of generosity and amazing people like you guys. These are people that I call true Aussies, because an Aussie can be anyone. You could be Christian, Muslim, Hindu, you could be from New Zealand, you could be from Samoa, you can be from Greece, you can be from China, you can be from anywhere. Australia welcomes anyone that wants to be Australian, and together we can make a difference. And that's what Giving Back Australia is about. It's about breaking cultural barriers through generosity. So thank you very much. That's a really good question. Why would you ask something like that?
Just wondering.
Just wondering. Okay. One question from the back. Anyone? Come on, girls. Anyone?
I've
Yes?
got another one if the girls don't have one. If people in here or they know someone in here who needs help, what do they need to do? So if any of these kids or their friends or their family need help, what do they
Absolutely.
need to do?
So what Amy's going to do is walk over to the computer and show you how you can apply. So I'm just going to move out of the way. If you scroll to the top, so on our home page, you've got home, you've got about us, you've got give back, and you've got our services. If you go on our services, there's through the programs that we mentioned today. We have got a program out here in the western suburbs called Hand Parade, and we don't have enough time to talk about it today. And we've got homeless support, and we've got Reverse Hub. But if you know somebody that wants, let's say for example, your family is struggling to get a meal. So you go to Food One, you click on that, and that opens up this page. And right here, you can hit apply now, click on that, Emma. It's as simple as that, and it'll actually open up an application form. You'll see it in a minute when it does open up. Go down a little bit, Omar, and there it is. You can just fill in your details. You scroll all the way down to the bottom. Very, very, very simple. And then you hit submit. All the way down, Omar. Yep. So you hit submit there. What that does, that goes to our team. That way you don't feel embarrassed. And one of our team members will contact whoever left their contact details, who will then instruct you on what to do next to get help. Or you can call our phone number, which is on the top. I believe, top left-hand corner. You can call the phone number during business hours, or you can go to our Facebook page, or you can go to our Instagram page. So there's many different platforms that we allow people to contact Giving Back Australia on without feeling embarrassed. If you know somebody at your school that's, taking drugs, maybe having a hard time at home, and just needs a mentor to chat to, or a female that might be getting bullied and needs someone to talk to, not a problem. You can go to our services, and click on Circle of Hope and apply that way, and we'll always make sure that there's adult supervision and everything is above board. So thank you very much, and I hope that answers your question. Guys, is there any more questions? Yes?
Have you ever had an incident where someone called and asked for food but they had enough food and didn't need it?
Have we ever had an incident where people have had enough food and they call? Many times. So as you guys know, there's good and bad in all people. So whether you're from a different country, or you're rich, or you're poor, or from a different suburb, there's always good and bad in everybody. And some people try to scam. Whether they try to scam a bank, or they try to scam a school, or even like people that cheat with their homework, for example. This is why, if you notice, there's an application form. So it asks, for example, questions like, how much do you get paid? Do you work? And if Oma scrolls down to the bottom, you will see it actually says that you've got to attach all the way down, Oma. I'll tell you when to stop. See here, stop, Oma. See how it asks us for all these things? So these are the documents that you click on here, and you must attach. So it's all good and dandy to say that you're poor or you're having a hard time and you need some food, but it's Team Giving Back Australia's responsibility to make sure that the food that you guys donate only goes to needy families. So providing they fill out the form and they supply the supporting documents, we've got a trained team of admin staff who then go through your application, make sure everything is correct and everything checks out before they approve or decline the person. So we have got a care of duty. So if you guys are going to be generous, it's our job to make sure that this food only goes to needy families. And that's probably the most important question today. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Last question.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam.
I'm just wondering, you extended the service to, rather than urban, you concentrate on a rural area where you go to school and and concentrate on the area of rural area too?
Do you know, sir, it's a very humbling question. You actually getting me to choke up. I've been watching the news for the last couple of weeks, and I've been seeing what's happening in the farms in rural areas, and I can tell you that our team at the moment, in the background, are working really hard to try and get a couple of schools together to donate some food, and we're actually thinking about taking our van out to some of these areas. Obviously we can't help everybody, but we can certainly make a difference, and we're going to give it a really good fat go and going out there and actually delivering food to these families. What we've got to understand is Australia is a very big country, and the farmers work really hard to make sure you and I get fed, whether it's our fruit, whether it's our vegetables, or whether it's our meat. We've got to make sure that we give them a big thank you when they're having a hard time too, and giving them back. So my answer to you, sir, whether it's through Giving Back Australia, or there's many different amazing organisations out there that right now are focusing on the farmers. Go home, tell mum and dad, and start raising awareness, 100% sir, that our farmers do need all our help. And don't ever think that you alone cannot make a difference. I mentioned 10 minutes ago, one school, very small school, donated the most amount of items Giving Back Australia has ever received. As a matter of fact, 7 or 8 kids from that school, this big, they call themselves the Charity Sisters and got encouraged. I think the oldest one between them was 8 years old. They came over and they said, we want to do more. And they made cupcakes at home, and slime, and homemade lemonade. And we helped them get a table, and they put it in a local shopping centre, a really small shopping centre. And they sold their little cupcakes and homemade slime and cups of lemonade for a couple of dollars each. And they wanted to donate the money to Giving Back Australia. They were only there for a couple of hours. Now remember guys, they're 7, 8 and 6 years old, I think, from memory. They raised for us that day over $1,000. So what am I trying to say here? Anyone can make a difference. That money now is going to be used to help kids and help families that are struggling, for example, with blankets, with jackets, with jumpers, with singlets. We just recently purchased some sleeping bags that we're going to be giving out today after we finish from here to some homeless people. So don't ever think anything too small that you're going to do won't make a difference, because anyone can make a difference. Do we have any more questions, guys? Okay, excellent. Look, Omar and I are going to hang around for another 5 minutes after we close the camera. I want to thank everybody. Omar, a big thank you.
I want to say thank you very much, first of all, for being there to our listeners. It means a lot. And also, if anything that we spoke about got to you, I'd like to hang around for another 5-10 minutes, give us a chat, and we're more than happy to help.
And I want to say a really, really big thank you. You guys have been super respectful. You have given us eye contact. There's been some amazing questions. I can see the looks on your faces that you guys have really enjoyed today. And you can make a difference. Regardless of colour, race or religion, together we can all be something and achieve something and help the ones that are less fortunate. And guys, appreciate it. Appreciate what you got at home, because I promise you a lot of these families that we do help didn't have nothing. So we're going to wrap it up now, but we are going to stay here for another 5 or 10 minutes. So if anybody has a question, I will be standing with your teachers who'll be supervising. Please come over and speak to us, and we're more than happy to answer any question. We want to thank you guys, and a big clap to you for really listening.
Thank you, students. They've been doing really fantastic speech and all that. Let's give them a big applause.
Thank you very much, guys. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you.